header, because everything, all the icons that we have on this page is inside the header element. So right below this header, I'm going to add um I'll use a div. Okay, let me use a section. So I'm going to open the sketchpad. Oh, okay. How do I create new one? Okay, so inside the sketchpad, I want to redraw the layout. Why is it doing like that? So I want to redraw the layouts. We have the header. So we have a very big box, which is the whole screen. Alright, so inside this whole screen, I have the header right here. I have the sidebar. Options. Sidebar. Hope you guys can see it. So I have the this is actually the page that's containing the videos. So it is like the main page, or it can also be referred to as the content page. So just call it content or main, anyone can go. Alright, so the header is taking up the whole width here. This header is taking up the whole width here, but the sidebar and the the main page is taking up this whole width here. So let's see, the sidebar is taking up like 20% of the width, meanwhile the main page is taking up almost 80%. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are going to wrap them inside one component or one element. So put them inside the section. So inside this section, I'm going to have aside. So aside is usually used is like it's just like div, but we are writing semantic HTML. So aside is used to refer to items that are placed by the side of the screen. It could be on the left hand side or maybe on the right hand side. Just like on some web pages, you might have adverts on the left hand side of the screen. There are some web pages that do place their advert in the center, so it all depends. But anything that has to do with by the side of the screen, we use the aside component from the aside element here. Then another thing we have is the main. So inside this aside, I'm going to use the class aside. inside this aside we have each of these SVG with their title. So this one is the home, and with the home title, and all these things are stacked vertically. So even if you change it to a flex box, it has to have the flex direction of column. So I'm going to wrap all these things inside one div. The name is going to be sidebar option, sidebar options container. Okay, then inside each of these sidebar options container, I have the SVG and the title. So another thing I want us to note is that these SVGs have the same size with the ones on the header, and most of the stylings that I used for these SVGs on the header, let me open the one that I built. Yes, most of these stylings I wrapped them inside this class, SVG container class. So I'm going to be reusing that same class. I don't want to start styling everything from scratch. So just going to move this whole thing. Then another thing is the title. Ooh, so the title is going to be home. The name is going to be sidebar name, right? Sidebar option name. I think that's it. Then yeah, so let's try. I'm going to change this SVG. Another one that we have is the shorts and subscription. So I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. Shorts. Here is subscription. Alright, so I'm going to go back to it. So we have all these items here, and if I hover over them, it gives me this gray background, which is something I don't want. It's actually from this hover SVG class. So I'm going to remove it from this one. So yeah, so after that, you can see the names are all there. So another thing that I'll do is I'm going to convert this whole section. I'm going to call it content. So I'm going to convert the whole section into um I'm going to convert into a flexbox. Let me give it a border so that we can see. So this is the whole section. So I can just make it a flexbox. This item on the left. Now another thing I can do is change the colors of those of the title. I'll change the color to white. I'm going to use this color that we have here. Then another thing I'll do is change the sidebar options container. I'm going to change it to a flexbox also. Okay. Oh. Okay. Then I also have to make align items center. Another thing that I need to do is add the container class so that these items here will not be at the end of the screen. There should be some margin between the items and the end of the screen. So there are so many ways I can do that, but the best way to do it is to wrap just wrap everything inside that container class. You can also put the container class inside here. You can put the container class inside here and you get something like this. It's not bad, it's still the same thing. Then I'm going to put a class around you know what, I'm going to change this aside to sidebar. The class name, I'm going to change it to sidebar. Then I'm going to draw a border around it to see how much width is containing. The area, the width and the height. So that's the width, and I'm going to give it flex. There is this property that is called flex basis, so I'm going to give it a flex basis. Flex basis means the width of this sidebar. So flex basis could also be referred to as width, but since it is inside a flexbox, flex basis are applied to the children of a flexbox. So since the main parent element is a flexbox, flex basis will work with it. So I'm going to give it a flex basis of, let's say, 100 peso. 100 peso is small, so I'm just going to increase it to like 200. Let me check the YouTube page here. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Then I'm going to remove this border around it. And I'm going to add some gaps between the title and the SVG. So going up here, Alright, so going up here we have this parent element here. There should be a gap of 10 pixel. Let me check. 10 pixel is good but not good enough, so I'm going to increase it to like 20, 25, let's see. Okay, so another thing that I want to do is I'm going to give it imagine top content, so white. Here's the content, so I want to give it imagine top. I don't like the way it is very close to this header, so I'm gonna just give it imagine top of like 10. Okay, so I'll increase it to 20. Okay, so I'm going to give this, let me just leave this one till I need it. So another thing that I need to do is, even this logo, like we're supposed to have this point, the cursor changing to a pointer when we hover over the logo. I can't find the logo. Okay, I have to style it different. I'll come back to it. Then each of these items here, I want to change pointer the cursor to a pointer when I hover over them. It's actually the flex, this the sidebar option container, which is this one. I'm still going to give it a border so that we can see. So each of these, we're going to give them cursor of pointer. Okay, then another thing is this background color right here. So the background color is what I'll need to get. Let's not forget that I'm on the home page of YouTube, so by default the background color of the YouTube link or the background color of the YouTube sidebar option is grayed out because I'm on the home page. So I'm going to tap on this and grab the color 272727. Do I have that? I don't have it here, so sidebar PG color. Let me just use my convention sidebar. So the color code was 272727. Then I'm gonna go to this and give it the background color of 272727. The name, background color is supposed to be applied to it only if we are on the home page, or if you are on any other page, but it has to be applied to only one at a time. So I'm going to give the home sidebar option, I'm going to give it a different class. The class is going to be active sidebar option. Then another thing that we need to do is border radius around it. So we might use something like border radius, might use something like 10 pixel. I think 10 pixel is okay in a way. Yeah, 10 pixel is good. Then I might just add a little padding around this, just small padding in line, maybe 5, not much, but it's no longer in the same alignment. Okay, I'm just bring it to like 2. Okay, then another thing is these other ones here, I need the same class to be added, or maybe the same background color to be given to them when I hover over them. So okay, so I think the background color that when you hover over the other options, it gives you the same background color, but when you hover over the active sidebar option, it gives you a kind of lighter background color. So I'm going to put the normal background color on these other ones, this sidebar option container. So when I hover over them, I want a background color of PG sidebar. So okay, then I also want a border radius of let me add this to this freelancing. Alright, so I am also going to increase the opacity, or maybe I'm just going to change the background color of this home button to a lighter one. So whenever I hover over the active sidebar option, I need a different background color. Could be something that is almost the same with that 272727, but I'll just have to increase it a little bit. Yeah. Ooh. This should only be applied when we hover. I think it's good like that. Alright, so another thing that we want to do is we want to add these other options. Another thing is this border here. So I'm going to add a border around. You know what? I'm going to add all these things because it seems like they are all grouped. Like this group is different from this group. Also with this one, the subscriptions are different. The explore, these other ones are different. So I'm going to add them in a group. I'm just going to call the group row. So all these things now will now be added inside another element called row. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to add a border. So I want this border to be like this is going to be like the element, the border of the element that is wrapping all these other elements here. So it's still possible to add it to this sidebar options container, but if I add it to this sidebar options container, all of them are going to have it, I guess. Yes, they are all going to, all these ones are still going to have this border. So I don't want such thing. I want it to be, I want the border to only be after a particular group. So I'm going to call this row. So I'm going to move all these things. Ooh, mistake. So I'm going to move everything inside the row. Then let me check. Okay, then if I add a border around that row, so here is the row. So now I need this row to have like there should be like some gap between this one and the border. Okay, so I'm going to add padding bottom. It's going to be like 10 pixels. Let's see. Okay, yeah, okay, then but I don't want this border to be all over the whole sidebar options. I want it to be only at the bottom, so I'm going to use border bottom. It's going to be applied to it. I still want it to have this faint color. How do I do that? So I'll just look for this search. Yeah, can remember I copied this search. Is this border color? Okay, yeah, color search, border color. So I'm going to make use of this. Let me see how it's going to play out. Okay, all right, so another thing that I need to do is I need to go ahead and add these other ones. So inside there, what I'm going to do now is just copy all this row. I'm going to duplicate it, like boom. Wow, it's just the row that I want to duplicate. So and now all of its contents. Then inside is I'm going to have library, just all these other options right here. So starting from library, this one is that library, this is short, so this library. This should be history. Let me check your videos. Yeah, your videos. So okay, we still have more options here. We have the watch later, liked videos, and all the rest. So watch later. So what I'm going to do is get two more. So watch later, like videos. Like videos, and then show more. Show more is like this drop down, so I'm just gonna grab it. One more here. Ooh. Okay, so we have all these options here now, but the issue is this is very close to the border, so I need to add padding top to it as well. So coming down here, I'll add, instead of making this padding, let me just make it padding block. So it's going to be padding top and bottom, padding block. Okay, so another thing that I need to do is I need to remove this class from the library because we are on the home page, not on the library. So the active sidebar option, yeah, removed. I think that looks good. This is actually white color. I think my own is shining too bright. Let me see when I can grab this corner. DA. Okay. Just DB, something of that nature. So I'm going to go here and I'll change this to, let me just use, ooh, DA. Okay. Then another thing is think there will be much gap here because I also added padding top to this one. So if I go back to my header and draw a border around it, let me see. There is so much gap here. So I'm going to look for, this the content, the container, see whether I can remove the margin top, something. Alright, so I'm going to remove this one. So it's going to be making use of the small gap from, or I might just use 10. Okay, the another thing that we need to do is to add the other ones. Subscription, these ones are basically my subscriptions, so it could be different depending on, so these subscriptions could be different depending on um your subscriptions and the images as well. So they are not SVGs, they are images. There's no way you can grab them, so we're going to skip this part, and on the explore we'll try to work on that. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to have more items on the screen now. So I'm just going to replace the SVGs and their title. So these SVGs now, I'm going to replace them with their title. So we are working on the explore, um, this section where it says explore. So we have the trending SVG, and also the title, the music SVG, and also the title. So I'm going to go back here, grab this. Okay. The files are so much, I'm even lost. Trending music.
Please, Anthony, is there anything like a search, like maybe a control F option in Visual Cosplay, in Visual Studio Code, right?
What?
Like, can you search something? Can you use the control F to search something here inside
Here?
your.
Inside this, inside this place.
No, 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 in VS Code.
Inside the VS Code. Whether you
Yeah.
can use Control F to find something like this.
Okay.
Yeah. For instance, if I want to find maybe this sidebar option class, option name, get this, then it will still give you like how many occurrences, these ones, to show you that it is
Okay.
15 in total. It helps a lot. Okay, so if I go back here, I'll see trending music, and this supposed to be gaming, news, and sports. Okay. And sports. News and sports. Alright, so another section that we need to work on is, okay, at the top of the page here it says explore. So at the top of this one says explore. That means it should be inside here, yes. Explore. So I'm going to give this a class of maybe sidebar category name. Font color is going to be, so this needs to be in the same alignment. Let me just add padding in line to this. One more thing, let me just move this inside here and see. No, it's not gonna work. Let's add padding. So this padding inline stats is same as padding top. No, padding left. That's padding inline stats. It's also, we have padding line end, which is padding right. Then padding inline is like padding left and right. So I'll use 20 pixel. It's too much. 10. Okay. Then I'm also going to add some let me use padding. So padding top and bottom is going to be like 10 pixel, and let me see what we have here. And the tab padding left and right is going to be like 5 pixel. Is it okay? Okay, left and right, I'll increase it to 10. Okay, that's okay now. So we have another category here. The name is more videos, more from YouTube. Okay, more from YouTube. So I have to add more from YouTube. Then I'll change the category name. More from YouTube. So I'm going to go here and grab this YouTube Premium. YouTube, what was it? YouTube, okay, Creator Studio, YouTube Music. Creator Studio. I'm going to add YouTube Music. I think this should be simple for. I'm not saying it's easy, but it should be simple for people that are working with Flexbox, because at the end of the day, you just have to style the basic ones, and for the rest of them, you just have to
And
copy and paste.
be pasting it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think what we have what we did from class is that's the aside element. So that aside
Have you done all
element
this
here.
part? Have you done all this part?
No, I didn't get your question.
Oh, okay.
Hello, what did you say?
I was asking if you've gotten to this stage.
I can't hear you. I'm breaking up.
Oh, could be from my network. Alright, so the next one is YouTube Music. YouTube Music. Ooh. And YouTube Kids. should be this. YouTube Music, YouTube Kids. Guess that's it. Yeah, okay, YouTube TV. Oh, I must have mistaken some of them for other ones. This is YouTube TV. Let me see the ones that have similar SVG. So, alright, so going back here, I'm going to get this, and inside the YouTube TV, I'll paste it here. Alright, so I think that's it for this one. And does it have show more button? I doubt, so it doesn't. I'm going to get rid of this last one here. Ooh. All right, so the next thing we have here is settings, report history, help, and send feedback. I don't really need to copy all these things because I don't need most of them, so I'm just copy very few.
How do you keep your VS Code not to extend to the next line? Because me, if I paste, for example, when I paste this SVG, the moment I hit save, it's like it's arranging the code for me. So it makes it even more confusing for me to copy and paste. Then everything is so long and lengthy.
Um, you mean like this? Uh, okay, like it's trying to keep it this way for you.
Yeah, so each element inside the SVG to be breaking it down into different lines.
Oh,
So yeah,
I
so
really
one
have no
thing, for
idea. Like,
example,
I really have no idea. To be very honest with you,
yeah,
I think
okay.
it could
I
be.
think it's one of the extensions
Yes,
that
yes,
I
honestly,
downloaded.
yeah, it could be one of the
Yeah,
extensions, but I
yeah.
haven't
Okay,
actually tried to modify that setting.
okay, okay.
Yeah, or you might try reinstalling your VS Code to see if it's going to fix it. So I'm going to grab the settings here. This last section, the name is there is no name, so I'm going to remove this. Yeah. Settings. This is, let me guess. Send feedback. Let me see. Oh, report history. Report history. This should be help. Let me be sure. Yeah, help. And the last one, send feedback. Send feedback. Alright, so does this have okay more from YouTube? Just going to increase this font weight so that there will be some sort of visual hierarchy between this one and this one. So the name is going to
Okay.
font weight. No, category name. So I'm gonna just use front weight 500. Let me see 500. Yeah, it's okay now. Another thing that I need to do is these last ones. So for these last ones, we're going to add them in a row still. So get a row here. Oh, the row is going to be containing this and this, basically two p tags, and the first one is going to be containing this. Oh, I can't copy that. I can't copy. It's actually a link. I'll just grab it like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a link. So I'm just going to type it. So it says about press copyright, contact us, create or advertise with. Oh, so these things are kind of arranged. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Sure. So what will happen is that we'll put this inside a flexbox. God damn it. 1 2 3 about press copyright, about press yeah. I'm going to put inside div, and each of these divs should be containing 3 P's. You know what? I'm just going to put these things inside 1 P tag. Yeah, might not look good enough, but copyright. Copyright. Contact us, create to advertise the broadcast. I didn't even know this part is going to stress like this. So, team privacy policy and safety. Contact us, create to advertise, right? How YouTube works, test new features. And at last, we have this one here. So this is 2000. So this copyright symbol right here has a HTML code. I'm always forgetting it, so I'm just going to go to my Google and type copyright symbol. This one. So all you have to just paste it inside your HTML. says 2023 Google LLC. This is small, we'll put in small tag. Google LLC. Google LLC. Alright, so let me see what this looks like. Ooh, black. So I'm going to change each of these. I'm going to give it a class. Class is going to be
Please, I need you to teach me how you do that just now. That's when you're done anyway. Like adding class to 3 at the same time.
no problem. So I'll just look for a class name and give to this one. Maybe footer links, something like that. I'm using this last one, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, did you hear me? Hello?
Hello? You told me
Can
that
you hear me?
concerning the short course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I think there should be a course for that. I think that's VS Code shortcuts. Should be like all those shortcuts for it here. VS Code keyboard shortcut for productivity. Yeah, just try and watch this video. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Everything. Thank you.
From Traversy Media. Okay. So the color is going to be white. Let me see. Is that even white? This is not really white. It's like A. So eta. Ooh. So I have to reduce the font size. It's like 0.8 rem. So another thing I need to do is footer links. So I'm going to add footer links and child. The first child should have margin bottom of 20 pixel here. Yeah, then another thing is this LLC right here. So border bottom. So this row, I don't want the last child to have this border bottom. The last child should just have border top. Or the last child should have top. Let me see something. Border is going to be none. How am I putting the class at the end of the day? Alright, so this is inside here. I'm going to get another color. um I want this class to last 1 hour, and CC. So copyright. Ooh. Okay, then margin top is going to be 20 pixel.
Mm.
It's not working. I need to well I don't have to apply this to only the first child, so the both children are supposed to have it. Okay, then another thing is oh so another thing is making this stick to the top and removing. I don't want that border at the bottom. There there's no border, there's no borderline here, so I'm going supposed to remove that borderline there. I'm going to go back here and activate this. Full up row. So I guess that's it. Already should have just needs to have padding top and padding bottom of padding block of 20 pixel. Yeah, that's it. So you just have to make this guy stick at the top. So to make that, to achieve that, we have to find out the actual height of this row. So does any of you have any question so that we can treat it right away?
Me? Until I try it myself, I always like to go and try it myself
Yes,
and
yes,
see
yes.
how you're
Well,
doing
I would
before
have
I
really
try
loved
it myself.
if you
But
guys, had tried the assignment that I gave yesterday, you know, but
yeah,
it seems that a lot of
I'm
people didn't
actually,
try it.
yeah, yeah. It's just that it's hard to catch up because before I close from work, maybe I have to jump on this. I was still trying to catch up on the earphones class. In fact, I had to leave it up to join it. So that's the issue.
Oh.
Maybe
You
when
guys should
I'm
just
not
try,
working now.
because anything you learn coding more by practicing and not watching it. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
I
just
realize
advise
it's like
everyone to
practicing.
like try and be
I'll
doing the
try to do mine,
assignments, and
Sha.
yeah,
That's
just try. I know it's not easy, but you
later.
guys should
Once
just
we
try.
are done, yeah,
Alright,
definitely I will.
so making this stick at the top is um we're going to figure out the height of this sidebar. Alright, so this sidebar has a total height of, I don't know, but it's more than the actual view height. So a view height is like the whole of this screen. Okay, so anything that is that can only be seen after scrolling, like these other ones here, they are not part of this view height, they are in another view height. So if you say like 100, if I change the let me go up and show you guys something. If I change the border to, if I give this a border of solid white, now we can see it is going down. So the whole body, this thing now represents this white um rect someone is calling me. So this white um rectangular shape, I guess, is like is more than the view height of my screen, so I have to scroll down to see the end of the rectangle. So if I want to find out, or maybe if I want this body to, the height of the body to be like the total view height of my screen, I can just change this to body. I can just give this height of 100 view height. 100 view height is like the whole screen that I can see at once. Anything that is after this 100 view height is not part of it. So I can also make it maybe 150 to scroll, to scroll to see the end of the rectangle, but it is still not the whole screen. Like, it is still not the amount of screen that will contain all the items that I have on the page. Okay, so what will happen is that I'm going to I'm going to go down here to the sidebar, and I'll put a border around it, 1 pixel solid white. So this border is going to help me to know the height, and the height is more than 100 view height. And if you look at this, if you look at the YouTube homepage here, you will notice that this the reason why this thing is sticking at the top is because the height of this sidebar is 100 view height. So all these things that are coming out from all these other elements that are coming out from the bottom of the screen, when I scroll down, it does not mean that the whole page on the screen is going down. That's not what it means. It means that the sidebar is sticking at one place, and all the items that are overflowing are being scrolled, or can be seen by scrolling. Let me show you guys what I mean. So if I give this a height of sidebar, if I give it a height of 50, maybe 50 pixel, what am I even doing? This is height of 50 vh. It's going to make it to be half of the screen. So this half of the screen means that it is like all these other ones, all these other items here are now overflowing, because this is the total height of the sidebar, and these other ones are outside the sidebar. So to actually make them to only be visible when we scroll, we have to add that property over scroll y, over overflow y. I mean, overflow y means that we want to see, we want to, like, if I add this property overflow y to the scroll, it means that anything that is overflowing in the y direction, anything that is overflowing in the y-axis, the y-axis means the vertical axis, anything that is overflowing in the y-axis, we want it to scroll. Okay, so it's going to be hidden, and I can only see it by scrolling. That way I wouldn't have to scroll the whole screen to see the contents of this sidebar. And most times when you need this is when you don't want to be scrolling everything on the page. For instance, if if we don't add this property, or maybe if this property was not added to this sidebar right here, then while you're scrolling this side, this other side will be scrolling as well. This other side will be scrolling at the same time, and you wouldn't be able to see this sidebar, this header floating at the top of the screen. So, but I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make the width to be I'm not going to make it to be 50 vh. I'll just make it 80 maybe 90. That way it's going to be at the bottom of the screen. Just remove this border here. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys a hint of what you need to do for this, like when you're working on this other section where you have the content or the videos on the screen. So same thing applies to this, same thing applies to it. So what you have to do is just to add the border to it, and you'll be able to scroll, and this header will be sticking at the top of the screen. Okay, then if you have any question to ask, you can ask. I think this is the end of our class tonight. Tomorrow we'll build this other part of it.
Okay, nothing's coming up at the moment. Like I said, I have to go and try my so if I have any question, I'll probably just check.
Okay.
Then what I wanted to ask is that the sidebar, like,
Wow. Yeah, you wanted to ask a question.
sidebar, the wheel seemed a bit smaller, like maybe that YouTube premium, for example,
Do
the
you need to see my? You
overflow
let me share my
product.
screen.
Okay.
Okay, so ask.
Yeah, you noticed going to the sidebar. Sorry. Yeah, so for example, this YouTube premium, is it that once this YouTube premium now, this our scroll bar is actually covering it. So the only thing to do there is just to increase the width of this of each thing, right? Once we increase the
Yeah, so
width,
what you
the
will do
scroll bar and
is,
everything will extend to the right.
yeah. So what you can do is to add some padding. You can add some padding or to maybe make it 300. Oh, 300. Or 300 is actually too big. It's like 250, something like that. Okay, but what the issue with this is that if you have a longer test, it will still touch this scroll bar. Okay, so I can just add some padding. Let me just leave it at like that. Let me just leave it at 250. Okay, flex base is
Okay.
250. Yeah. All right, so I'll be ending the meeting. Okay, good night, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll not practice on it. Yeah. Once I